Hello, this is Mish from Downtime Distractions. Now this video is a little different. So this is in regards to the In Development review series. So what this is a recap on the games that I have reviewed in the past few months. And the purpose of this is to really ensure that the developers are staying true to their promises and they are still working on the games and just giving you an update on the game and how it's progressing as well. As I know a lot of people with early access titles are a bit shy to pick them up, and with good reason of course. So this will hopefully help you to confirm if the game is progressing in the right way or what they're doing, and also just a bit of an update. So these 4 games that I've chosen to look at today are actually prior to the In Development review series which I made. So these were just basic reviews. But anyway, I still wanted to catch up on them because I think it's important to do this, really holding the developer to account for what they've said to us. So let's start with a title called Golf with Friends. So this is in development by Blacklight Interactive. And so what I'm doing with these is I'm looking at the forums, looking at the patch notes and playing the game to see how I think it's developing. So we've had many good updates from these guys. And they've had a lot of good feedback on the forums, and they're very active on the forums as well. So very good to see that on all fronts. They've had an enormous amount of updates as well. It's quite insane. So what do we have? I guess the main points that they have introduced is a new map. So that map is called Twilight. So it's good to see them adding that, because that was definitely something which I wanted to see. More variation of the places you're playing, and it's good. It's at night, it's all lit up quite nicely. You got a whole bunch of new types of areas to explore, so it's quite good. And they've also tuned up the original as well. So Oasis and Forest have also been tweaked and made a lot better, and the annoying holes have been taken out. So some of them were just too hard or a bit finicky, and it seems to be they've taken those out as well. So another big update that they've added is a game mode called Custom. That was another thing that myself and Mung mentioned when we played this game, is it would really, push the boundaries, go crazy, and it's looked like they've actually done that as well, which is really cool to see. So that Custom mode gives you the ability to, change the golf ball sizes, change the gravity, have collision mode, have a bouncy mode, choose your amount of shots. So it's very good. If you're sick of playing the game, you played it right through, you want to do something crazy, you can make all the golf balls egg-shaped, so they go all over the place. Just crazy stuff like that, which is really good. And it's a real nice feature, which isn't in many other games like that, so it's quite nice. And I guess probably the last point is, this being a game which is, you can play it by yourself, but I guess the main purpose is to play with other people. Is the community alive? And it really is. I was very surprised to see how many people are still playing this game, and there's a hell of a lot. So it's very nice to see. It has really taken off on Steam as well. There's a lot of reviews, a lot of positive feedback. So these guys are doing really well for themselves. It's really good to see. And they deserve it for all the work they've put in. They are a small development team. They put a lot of work in, they're staying true to what they've said, they're adding these features, and it's nice to see them going down that way as well. So very positive with Golf with Friends, and I will probably check back on that in the future, and I'll let you know how it goes as well. But for now, Golf with Friends is going well. And on to the next one. So the next one was BlockHood. Now that was released on the 9th of March. Developer was Plethora Project LLC. So looking at that, they've had 6 major patches. So that's, a patch every month-ish. And they're still relatively active on the forums, so it's very good to see, listening to the community, which is always positive. So whilst the patches aren't as frequent, but they're big patches. So they've got some great new additions that they've added. So one which I really like is adding inhabitants. So for example, if you were to build up a area that was, vegetable gardens and stuff like that, you might see some animals. If you build up an area which is very high in culture, so you got shops, restaurants and stuff like that, you might get a musician to come and play in the middle of the ground there. And things like, if you have a whole lot of shops, you get inhabitants to come along and go shopping. So it's really good, because I thought that was something which it needed. You're just getting the feedback on what you're building. So there's a reason for you to do a certain area, because people will come to that area. So it's fantastic. It really drives you to want to play it again, which is something I raised as well. So it's very nice to see that. They've also added many other things as well. A lot of tweaks have been going on to this game. They've added new challenges, so more content. They had more content to do. What else have they done? So, just tweaking the UI. They've added, as I say, those inhabitants. They've added many more things around food. So cow farms, pig farms, corn farms. Just new buildings everywhere. A lot of UI changes, so you can actually swap between different windows and see a whole bunch of new buildings in there. So they've added a lot of new things, and that really adds variation to the game as well, because they've added where you can have, I guess, markets will be one example. So with that market, you need to then be able to give them fresh fruit and vegetables for the market, or meat. Then obviously you need to be able to get the meat. And then, so on and so forth. So each new addition is adding a chain of new addition buildings as well. So very nice to see. And another point here with this game is something which they're working on, I believe, is being able to add multiple neighborhoods. So you could have a neighborhood where you build a certain thing and then somehow connect it to another neighborhood. So that's very reminiscent of the kind of SimCity building, but in that neighborhood world. So very cool. Very cool to see where this goes. So this game, once again, this is on track, I think. Big updates, very active, all very positive. And once again, good response from the community as well. So this is looking good. So let's move on to the next game. So this one is Samphi. So this was released on the 17th of March. And the developer was Greeny Game Studios. So having a look, on the forums and in the news, they've done roughly 22 updates, and they're still very active in the forums. So if you're not familiar with what this game is all about, it's a side-scrolling survival RPG, very similar in essence to Terraria and a kind of Minecraft, but obviously that's side-scrolling. So from launch, they mentioned that they were going to put an update every 2 weeks, and they look they've pretty much stuck to that. So that's very good to see that they're sticking to the word there. And they're obviously writing up each update. They're giving a written information as well, so you can read it there, which is good. So what have we got? So they're trying to push multiplayer. They've added a crafting guide. They're trying to add more worlds, which is kind of implemented, so you can choose a different world, but I'm not sure if it's anywhere near finished at the moment. They're working on modding. They've added mining precious metals, which I used, and it seems to work alright. They've added cheats. They've added things like wolves, sheep, more crops. They've updated the graphics, so a bit of a tweak there. I didn't notice that too much. They've added animal feeding, more languages, more animals, fishing. So they are adding a lot here. But remember, this is a very small development team on this one. I think it might even just be one person. So they're definitely living up to what they said. But in saying that, this one is going quite slowly. So not a lot of updates are actually big ones, but they're working on it. And the game still has great potential. But this one's just not moving along as fast as the other ones I just mentioned. But still, good work from these guys, and I wish them all the best. And on to the last one. So the last one is a game called Shadow Peaks, which was released on the 18th of March. And what it is kind of a thriller horror exploration game. A bit of an adventure type of thing. So this is developed by Andre Vintage. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name once again, but I tried. So what I've seen from this one is 7 major patches and active on the forums. So that's not too bad. Once again, very small developer, and they're living up to the word of being active and releasing those updates. So what the main things have changed is graphic improvements, and I can see that as well. I guess the shadows look a bit better. Everything looks darker and a bit more ominous, so that's quite nice. He's added a mini boss. I didn't see that mini boss. I didn't know where it was. And just general tweaks across the board. It looks like he spent a lot of time reworking the first area you're going to, which, if that's what his goal was, then that's fine. But to me, I don't think that was required. I thought the first area was okay. I don't think there's been any major changes in there. It's just more of a tweaking of that, getting it exactly how he wants it. But he is working on Chapter 2. But that's still quite a while away, I believe. There's no date on that because it's, there could be issues that crop up. So whilst I think it is positive that he's re-looking at the
chapter 1 and tweaking that and getting that exactly how he wants it. For the people that purchased it, I think it would be more beneficial for him to concentrate on chapter 2. So getting chapter 2 out and finished, then if you want to rework, repolish, then you have a game in a good state to the people that purchased it and people that put the money into the game can finish the game and finish the story. Then obviously the balancing and the tweaking can be more for future buyers. But yeah, I think they need to reprioritize onto that chapter 2 as opposed to chapter 1. So just in summary, positive in that he's active and he's doing lots of updates, but just reprioritization of what he's working on I think would be beneficial. I know he is working on chapter 2, I just hope his full effort is going into that as opposed to anywhere else. But still positive, but yeah, just I like to see that obviously advance a bit faster. But that's what you get with a one-man indie developer, the same as Samphi. Things are going to be slow. They've let us know that they're a small team of one or maybe a few more that help them from time to time, and that's the progress. That's the reality of the situation.
So I'll leave this here. So I hope this has been a valuable update for you guys. I hope you got some good information from it. And I'll continue with doing this because I think this is very important, really holding the developers to account for the games that they're making and the money we've given them and their promises and our expectations.
So if you guys think these videos are positive, please leave me some feedback below. It would really help me out. Obviously subscribe for future updates from me, and thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. And stay tuned as well for more of these videos as I do endeavour to work on, I guess, the next batch that I reviewed a couple of months ago. And kind of keep more of a month or two delay. So I'll do the review, then look at it in a month or two as opposed to 4 or 5 months as I've done with these ones. But still, I think this is a good process to really kind of keep on top of these early access developers as the system has been abused. And hopefully we'll keep on top of them so it won't be abused in the future. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. And until then, cheerio.